So we have a big announcement that I'm going to let John have the honors of letting you know. So John?
So we hope to see you guys at our user conference, which is our second user conference. And we had several, 150 plus people come to our first one. This is number 2. And Scott, we worked hard on this name, didn't we?
We did. There's a lot of brainstorming, a lot of late nights. Might have been some cocktails involved.
Possibly cocktails.
Yeah.
And so we want to welcome you to Repfabric 2 Electric Boogaloo.
That's awesome. All right, so Repfabric 2 Electric Boogaloo happening late 2024.
Dates to be announced.
But
we need to see you there because this is where you have the opportunity to go through lots of our training, work with other companies that are in your industry, as well as companies in your territory that aren't in your industry. And that's part of creating that Repfabric community that's important. Learn the best practices that others have developed and will commercialize there, as well as understand different folks on your team with their own specializations of inside, maybe back office people who may not get a chance to go to the conferences that you go to in your industry. It's a great opportunity for them to come down and work with their peers to learn best practices and learn all the new features of our system.
For me, one of the coolest things that happened at Repfabric 1, right?
Wasn't the live band karaoke, was it?
Well, that was, we'll get to the fun stuff in a minute.
Okay.
One of the cool things that happened at Repfabric 1 was to see guys from AMAR, which is plumbing, and NIMRA, which is electrical, right? And MOPSI, which is food service. These guys in different industries talking to each other and sharing best practices. Because when they go to their own industries, yeah, they're talking about plumbing, they're talking about electrical. Here they're talking about
it can be an echo chamber.
How do they apply what they do in Repfabric to their industry? And they were learning from each other as they're going to best practice sharing.
And one of the other things that was neat about that too is that several of them stayed in touch afterwards because they're in the same territory, right? So other reps in other industries and creating that sort of best practices rep council just amongst themselves, right? And it's been very well received. So we hope to see you guys there. We've also got different tracks associated with it. As I mentioned, we've got the back office folks track. We've also got the new salesperson track who maybe doesn't know anything about Repfabric or how to use it or any of our other products. And then we've also got a manager's track or an owner's track for learning how do I run my company using a system like ours. We'll also have some vendors there. So several of the vendors of the integrated software pieces that we pull in, as well as some of the trade associations and their experts from that side will be there. We'll have presenters talking about both selling efforts and how you go about that, as well as technology.
I think probably the other thing we learned from Repfabric 1, though, is that people want a lot more hands-on training too, right? So we'll be much more focused on training. So it's going to be some intensive learning, but there's also going to be some intensive fun too, yes. I think.
Hands dirty, both during the day and at night. So so we'll definitely have some fun too. And it should be nice weather down in the southern area where we have this planned. We're not sure yet, but it'll be in Florida most likely. And, we look forward to seeing you there.